Babe, you ready to record?
Yes.
Mm-mm. 3, 2. Babe, come on.
Oh no.
What?
Our first podcast, babe.
Are you recording it
Yeah, it's recording.
right now?
Yes, recording right now.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
We should start by saying our names, babe.
Babe, we can't be saying babe the whole time. They go click. Nobody wants to hear that, especially if they're not in a relationship.
Right.
Okay.
So my name is Israel, and
My name is Fanny.
her boyfriend, or husband,
What?
or future husband.
What?
Babe, I have
Baby
to say-
daddy. He's my baby daddy.
Oh really?
Yes.
Babe, that does not sound good. So it's Friday.
Yes, it is. And we have nothing to talk about.
Now we got a few things. We're excited for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not even sure if is it Saturday or Sunday one?
It's Sunday.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would have been
You would
working.
have been, no, you wouldn't have been working. The Super Bowl starts at like 7 or 8.
I don't know. They don't they change the times every once in a while?
No, they don't.
It's always the same time.
It's always, I think it's like at 6
Oh, it says 5:30 p.m.
p.m. Yeah.
p.m. But a lot of controversial stuff going on with the Super Bowl for sure.
Like what?
I mean, you know what. You know what's going on. You know what the word is.
Yeah. Travis Scott is going to be performing.
Nobody's talking about Travis Scott.
What do you mean?
Nobody's talking about Travis Scott.
People have been talking in the black
No,
community. People have been talking about Travis Scott.
Okay, well, the main person that they're talking about is Adam Levine because he's the main performer.
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. Well, specifically Adam Levine.
Okay, what about him?
I mean, people are mad at him because he's performing at the Super Bowl.
Nobody cares.
No, there's a lot.
Who's saying that?
All the black artists, mostly all the black artists,
Oh, really?
except Travis Scott, I guess.
Waka Flocka. This was like a month or two ago, though. Now, he was mad because Atlanta performers weren't performing. Like,
People always got something to complain about.
why the hell would they want to see the Migos? You know who the audience is. They don't want to see the Migos.
What? Who the audience is?
I mean, we know who the audience is.
What?
It's going to be a lot of white people. A lot of black people are boycotting, supposedly, quote unquote.
But see,
the
this is what I
NFL.
don't get. They're giving Adam Levine a hard time, but they're not giving the players a hard time.
Because the players
shouldn't-
got to make their money.
Adam Levine's got to make his money too.
He's not making any money.
Oh, he's donating all? I heard he was donating.
No, they don't make money.
I heard.
No, they don't.
definitely-
Performers, no. Super Bowl performers only get the publicity.
So he's just performing
He's
just because.
Yeah. I mean, look it up. I'm just talking from another person's point of
I'm
view.
pretty sure he's getting paid some type of money.
Look it up. Just performers
Adam
get paid to perform at the Super Bowl.
Levine.
No, don't look up Adam Levine.
I'm looking up what he's getting paid for.
He's not getting paid. Just look up yes or no question.
He's got to at least get. They're not going to give him $100. You know, it's something.
No, he's getting publicity.
I'm pretty sure he gets paid. Look, the Super Bowl artists get paid. See, it says that's right. Top earners like Katy Perry, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay, and Lady Gaga all played for free.
Exactly.
Oh, I guess they don't pay him. Why don't they pay him? It
Because
says
it's for publicity. You know how many viewers watch the Super Bowl a year?
Pepsi halftime show gig at Super Bowl LII will be no different. We do not pay the
Babe,
artists.
what is the Roman numerals for LII? Because I don't know. It's a Roman numeral.
I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. It's the Super Bowl. But that's not even. I wouldn't perform if they're not paying me. I don't care. He's getting bad publicity anyways. I'll be like, you know what?
Adam Levine is not getting. People love him. What does he have to boycott for? He's not a part of the black community.
Exactly.
Now, Travis Scott, on the other hand, he's a part of the black community, supposedly, but he's a Kardashian. So, I mean, people are mad. They're saying he's a sellout like Kanye West.
What does that have to do with him being a Kardashian?
Because he's a sellout. You know, once you go Kardashian, you going white. And you never going back.
Oh, because of Kanye West?
Yeah. He done dyed his hair blonde and all. He's trying to fit in.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All black people have done that, I think, once in their life. Have you dyed your hair?
I dyed it like a beige.
There you go.
But it was not blonde.
I've seen a lot of black people wear blonde hair. Or like bleach. It's bleach hair. It's not called blonde. It's bleach.
Yes, it's still the color blonde.
Well, I just think they're making fuzz out of nothing.
Really? Of course, because they're not boycotting for your rights.
No, well,
if it would have been a Hispanic football player, you probably would have been boycotting it.
No. No, because I know, I know the circumstances. Like, when it comes down to whatever, I know what he's protesting about. Kaepernick.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, he's protesting about police brutality. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
In my opinion, people are not just gonna, get shot or killed because they didn't do anything. That might happen, every once in a while. Injustices happen for everybody. But to an extent where I think it's just all a messed up situation. Because, I don't agree with Colin Kaepernick, but I do agree with them because he shouldn't have gotten penalized because it is a free country. So he's able to do whatever he wants. But then again, he's working for a company where he's supposed to abide by the rules. And, he's a performer of some sort for the NFL. He's getting paid by the NFL. He's got a boss. He's not his own boss. So if the boss tells him you have to set an example for the National Football League and do, some respect towards the flag, you have to do it. Otherwise, don't work there. Work at something else. Be your own boss. The National Football League should be, if they want to have a certain point of view, they should have their own certain point of view.
What do you mean by people get shot?
What do you mean?
Because you said that.
Yeah, that's what Colin Kaepernick is basically arguing that black people are the only people that get abused by the cops. Which is...
Statistically, the police are aimed more towards the black community, the minority groups.
Well, statistically, I looked at the statistics, and white people get killed more than black people.
Of course, because it's more white people in the world.
Right.
In the world.
Right.
Than black people.
But even then, I don't even agree with that. Like, take a look at all these Mexicans having a bunch of kids. When you take a look at the white people,
and then Mexicans
they don't have that many kids.
Are claimed as Caucasian as well. It's either you're native or you're Caucasian.
You think some of those white statistics are Hispanic people?
It could be. Most definitely.
That's what I was thinking too, because I remember getting categorized. I don't know what I was applying for. Mm-hmm. But in the application, I told the lady, so what do I put here? Do I put white? Because it was only like...
Well, you would have put native because you have indigenous.
Yeah, exactly. There was like three options. I think it was African American,
Native, Indian,
white, and then Native American. But I was like, well, I'm none of these because back then I hadn't taken the DNA test.
Yeah.
But even right now, I'm not even categorized as a Native American in the United States. Because
well, no, you'll put your ethnicity as like your race. You'll put Native American, and then for your ethnicity, you'll put Mexican. Like that's why they ask you.
There's no Mexican.
Yes, they do.
It's just Hispanic.
No, that's for the ethnicity. You put Mexican.
But there's no Mexican
Yes,
option.
it is. Yes, it is.
No,
they ask you if you were Hispanic or Latino at the very top.
Yeah, Hispanic
and I always
or Latino.
put no. Yeah, so you will put yes.
We're Hispanic.
Yeah, Hispanic.
But Hispanic could be Hispanic and Mexican is not the same thing.
Hispanics are the natives that were colonized by Spanish. No, that's what Hispanic is.
No, because like you take a look at let's say the president, the former president of Mexico. If he fills out a form, he's gonna fill it out as Hispanic because he's Mexican, but in reality, he's white because you could tell by his skin color. You could tell he's not native at all. Like you could tell he's not.
But
native.
that's his ethnicity.
Yeah, but he's neither.
So for his ethnicity, he would say yes to him being Hispanic, and then he'll put white or Latino.
He can't put white because he's not white.
He is white. If
he's
you
Hispanic.
just said, so is he white?
That's what we don't know.
What do you mean?
Because for living in Mexico and being born in Mexico, you're considered a Hispanic. But it's like saying a Caucasian family goes to Mexico and they have kids and they're born there.
You'll be Caucasian Mexican.
Be Caucasian Mexican, but there's no Caucasian Mexican.
I mean, there's gringos and gringas, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they like white people?
That's
in Mexico.
That's just everywhere. That's what some Hispanic people call white people.
Oh.
Anybody that has a light skin color that doesn't look indigenous. If you look indigenous, you look indigenous. Mm-hmm. But if you could be Mexican, like Mexican, straight up Hispanic, but you could look white. You could look white. There's a lot of people.
And then that'll be white.
No, but he's still Hispanic. His whole family.
But I'm saying his ethnicity, he's still from the Hispanic culture, but he's white. His race is white. He's European.
I think that's a very iffy borderline. Because even like the white people from Mexico, they come from like Spain, and they're not really coming from like England or Britain. They're different.
But they're still white. They're still Caucasian. They're just have Spanish backgrounds. They're still Caucasian. They wouldn't be called Latina. The Latinos and Latinas only apply to the South Americans.
It's a very iffy subject. Trust me. You have to know certain Hispanic people to see that it's not just black and white. There's a gray area there.
But I'm saying that it's
not there's a gray area. There's a gray area.
Babe, they're white. That means they're white. If they're from Spain, they're white. It's right next to Europe.
No, but what I mean is that they're not from Spain anymore. If you got like several generations in Mexico, but you're light skinned and you look like a regular American, but you're not. Like your whole culture, your whole culture revolves around the Mexican culture, the Hispanic culture.
So the identity for Americans are Caucasians, basically, in Mexico.
Yeah, that's what it'll be, because they're not Hispanic. They got no.
So they'll
Hispanic
be American.
Culture. What? Caucasian people?
Yeah, even though they're not from America.
No, they wouldn't be American. They would just be Caucasian. Like they don't have any sort. We're talking about culture too. Yeah, culture has a lot to do from like who you are. If if you're white, but all your generations have been a Hispanic culture, you're still that culture. You're still, that still identifies you. You're still not gonna be related, be able to relate to like certain Americans and what their American culture is. It's just an iffy subject nowadays where everybody has, spread out everywhere and they're different colors,
Some people don't like being called certain things.
I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. Like the girl that has nominations from the movie Roma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading the comments and they're basically saying like, don't just say she's Mexican, she's indigenous Mexican. And it's like, I didn't know it was a difference, but I guess there are.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's such thing as you could go more specific about who you are. You can't just say Mexican and then expect to everybody look the same.
Yeah.
There's still indigenous people, which is, they look different.
Well, how do you think Africans feel? African's not even a country, it's a continent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. But
then that means on the applications, they should make it a broader statement for everybody instead of just saying, I don't know.
Well, now it's complicated because, like I said, it's like our daughter. What is she gonna be? What is she gonna put in an application?
She can put anything she
can put anything she wants. Because my mom has a lot of white blood.
Mm-hmm.
My dad has a lot of indigenous blood.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously has some of that blood from my parents. She obviously has some of your blood from your parents and your blood and my blood. And now it's just all a mixture. So what is she going to put? That's why it's a gray borderline. It's not just black and white. But let's get back to the Super Bowl, which was our topic.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're living in times where nobody could do anything that they want because somebody else is going to complain about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're just going to...
People are saying this generation is weak.
I think so. I think they're physically weak and mentally weak.
No, I don't think people are weak. People are just fed up with people's bullshit. It's tiring. Hearing the same things happening over and over. People are going to start complaining.
I mean, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, I understand. People are tired of injustices, but it's just a whole mess going on when the Super Bowl should not be, politicized, because right now it's being politicized.
Yeah, I feel like
it should just be, it's a
everything
game.
Everything is about politics nowadays. You can't even enjoy listening to music, watching
really
sports
is.
Without it being drenched in politics. And it's like, that's tiring sometimes. I don't want to be angry 24/7. I don't want to fight for justice 24/7. Like, sometimes I just want to relax and enjoy what I'm watching, enjoy what I'm listening to without being angry. I mean, there's a time and place for it, but not every time. Like Twitter, there's like 5 sides to Twitter. And one of the main sides that makes me upset is like the social justice warriors. Like, I really hate seeing it. And then they always post wrong information. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think people, we're in a generation where people like drama too. People like to start things.
Yeah.
People like to get likes. People like to, cause a fuzz. Mm-hmm. And people just
fall for it. Take the bait.
Yeah, they fall for it. And then people, they exaggerate on titles. Like, article titles and they exaggerate on news titles, and they're just trying to get attention.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, some people are just fed up. I don't know, but Colin Kaepernick, he didn't deserve to lose his job. Like, that's the way he makes his money.
It's I definitely think it's a iffy subject, but I believe that if you're working for somebody under certain conditions, you're either abide by them or not. It's like you have to do, especially when you're being paid a lot of money and you're trying to make.
Yeah, but he's setting an example. He's the one that started it.
Right, but and then again,
everybody started to boycott the flag and the national anthem.
I mean, he didn't start boycotting black brutality. He didn't start that. People, were already protesting. People were already protesting.
I know. I'm not talking about that.
But
I'm talking about the national anthem.
I think if anybody's fault was it to politicize the NFL, was him, Colin Kaepernick. Because he's the one that brought all this attention to politics when it should have just been about the game. And it should have just been about, if he wouldn't have done that, then Rihanna would have performed, and it would have been a performance. It would have been entertainment, not some politic.
I agree with you
mix.
To a certain extent,
because if he wants to fight and if he wants to do some type of
organization or
some type of change, I mean that's what he wants. He wants change.
Well, I mean he did start it at least, but people are slowly trickling away from the boycott for NFL.
I think he was just trying to cause attention, because what is he going to gain by kneeling down of the flag?
I mean, obviously that's what he wanted. He wanted people to see that he's not taking, police brutality any longer.
Did it change anything? Has it changed anything?
I mean, it's changed people's point of views on it. A lot of people's point of views. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of attention. It's a lot of attention on the subject because a lot of people are talking about it.
So, do you think black people like police officers now?
No.
Okay. I don't think it's making a difference. I think it's making things worse.
Wait, so are we supposed to be the ones accepting the fact that police officers are targeting minority groups? And
First of all,
be friendly with them?
No, I don't think we're supposed to. I don't think we're supposed to generalize things. Just how we're not supposed to generalize Hispanics. We're not supposed to generalize blacks. We're not supposed to generalize white people. We're not supposed to generalize anything because everybody's different. There's a majority of things happening in a certain group, but you shouldn't just generalize everybody,
Yeah.
You should,
But nobody's generalizing them. We're just making sure that we're safe.
And
nobody is mad at the police officer. I mean, there's obviously a ton of people that hate police officers, not just just not blacks, but everybody in general. There's a lot of people that don't like police officers.
I understand that, but why should we hate police officers? Why?
Nobody's saying hate them.
Or why should we not like them?
Nobody's saying don't like them, but it should be the other way around. They should be more accepting and making a change for police brutality against the minority groups.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think that there could have been a better way. There could have been a better way he could have handled things.
I mean, all he did was silently take a kneel.
Right.
Silently take a kneel. There's nothing wrong with that. He didn't say anything. He didn't cause a ruckus. He didn't go around cussing up a storm. He did it the professional way. He just kneeled down.
But
and they asked him why, and he said why.
But he knew he was gonna. Nobody had ever done that. He knew he was gonna cause a fuss.
Controversy. But it was for a right purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I perfectly understand that. But I think we both agree.
Just like the Donald Trump thing with the wall and them shutting down the government. I don't even know what happened with the government, but I don't know. It's just too much
Well, that's
going
a whole
on.
different subject.
No, but wouldn't you boycott or do something?
Yeah,
Especially
I definitely have, my points of views of things, of injustices that are happening to people, and obviously I'm gonna be more aware of what's happening to my
community,
close people.
Yeah.
Which is not even my community. It's just, on a personal level, what some things that could change, some things that could be done better. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say like, everybody's evil. Like, that could be something that I could say emotionally, but deep down, I know that not everybody, in the police or in the government is evil. There's still.
So what it comes down to is, do you support Colin Kaepernick or not? I mean, obviously, I know you don't because you're watching the Super Bowl this coming Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I support him in a certain way. I understand we should not take any type of racism or any type of injustice or any type of mistreatment from officers. I understand that because we're paying them. At the end of the day, we are supposed to be the ones that are, supposed to be served. We're not going to let...
Protected.
They're supposed to be just like a restaurant server. They're just like a restaurant server. I pay you. I come here, and I need to be treated good with respect. Because isn't that what they're doing? They're supposed to look out for us. We're not looking out for them. We're not accommodating to them. They're supposed to accommodate to our needs because they're obviously making our lives better, right? I mean, we could ask any police officer, what is your job? To make my life better. The citizens' life better. So, yeah, I agree with Colin Kaepernick that police should not be killing people unjustly. But I also believe that, he could have taken a better route.
What better route would have been better than what he did?
But just kneeling down, that doesn't change anything. Kneeling down silently doesn't change anything, but just make a fuzz. That doesn't make anything better. It doesn't make anything better.
But his silent kneel spoke a lot. It was louder than words.
No,
it spoke a lot.
It spoke a lot in the media. It spoke a lot in the drama.
No, in people's personal lives.
Our officer, if anything, as an officer. It's
like what Beyonce did when she performed her formation song during the Super Bowl. And everybody was saying she was a police hater. My God, I can't even talk.
Well, I'm not really aware of that, but I don't think it's making, as a powerful person who has the media, Colin Kaepernick has the platform, and the money. Mm-hmm. He could have done. I don't think he has the brains. He may have the platform and the money, but he doesn't have the brains. He's just emotional, and he's just trying to cause drama because that's all he's. Because at the end of the day,
yeah,
police officers are still gonna be mad at what's going on because they're talking trash about him. They're talking trash.
Nobody's talking trash. We're just making the obvious known.
I put myself in both people's shoes. I put myself in, injustice plus the actual justice, the people that are, having control what is going to be just or not. And who has the last word. So I think cops are aware that people don't like them. Mm-hmm. Cops are aware of that. Because I think it would be very naive of them to not, be aware that people are upset with them because there's been a few things that they've done that have not been right or have been...
A few things, been a lot.
Have been accidents, but...
Not accidents.
and at the no, I mean, that's where it gets iffy because like I said, we said that people like to create drama, people like to create headlines, people like to create
Yeah. But
things
you don't want to sound like Donald Trump with the fake news. It's not fake. Like, it's real life.
No, it's not fake. It's not fake, but there's certain titles that the media put on their stories to make headlines, to make people watch, to make people talk about.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the news want views because they want fame. They want people to view their channel and their stories. They create certain headlines that are misleading and not the best for what has happened. So I mean, there's definitely people that are dying because of police mistraining. They haven't been trained right, or they're just
racist.
Yeah, maybe racist. There's definitely I'm not gonna argue that there isn't any racist police officers out there. Yeah, I think there's racist people everywhere. I think
how many times they've caught the deputies or the police officers? Who's the people that are in charge? Are they called the deputy officers? Like, that's in charge of the police officers?
I'm not real sure what they're called. I know it, but
sergeants or something.
Captain, maybe. I don't know.
Well, anyways, there's been a lot of stories about it. About like, if you see a black person, pull them over. They've caught a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that said that.
I think to a certain extent, yes, that there is racism going on everywhere, including police headquarters, police teams. But
this is so draining to talk about.
In my point of view, I think that
back
is
to the Super Bowl or no.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to this one, but let me make my point.
Okay.
I think, in my point of view, hate is not going to end anytime soon. Whether it comes to, religion, race, beliefs, groups, whatever you're in, it's not going to end anytime soon. I think it'll end eventually.
No, it won't. Never. It'll never.
I think it will eventually, but not anytime soon.
I don't think so. This is not a perfect world. I mean, it'll be nice, but that's impossible. It's not going to happen like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's not. I don't think. I think there's still going to be a small percentage of people that are going to be against somebody.
I mean, but it's scary now to speak out about anything because you'll get slandered. Like Kevin Hart when he got called out for the LGBTQ comments that he made.
Not LGBT. He just said a gay joke. Everybody.
But that's still hurting the community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you say anything nowadays, you'll get slandered.
Definitely, yeah.
Anything. So you can't say nothing now.
You gotta watch what you say. Unless you got nothing to lose.
I know.
I mean, the only thing he's gonna lose is, for Kevin Hart, it sucks because he does have to watch what he says.
And he's a comedian too. So
yeah, he's a comedian. I mean, and that brings if there are people that are comedians and they're saying jokes, people joke about all kinds of things. I think people should be able to joke about different type of groups and people. Like, people joke around Jews, people joke around Hispanic people. There's a classic Hispanics.
No, because 21 Savage had to apologize to the Jewish community about him making a rap lyric about him being as rich as Jews, and they took it offensive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Is it
Who took it?
Did you?
No, but I don't think Jewish people took it offensive because they're maybe certain.
You think Orthodox Jews did?
No,
not
no.
Orthodox. I said
No,
Orthodox.
Orthodox Jews don't even know who 21 Savage is. They don't care about what the hell 21 Savage says. Orthodox Jews, they don't. I'm telling you, they're not gonna care about what 21 Savage says. They already know people hate him. They don't care. They don't care. The most extremist Jewish people don't care what 21 Savage says. This was just people trying to start something.
Compliment, supposedly.
Yeah, it is a compliment. It's a compliment.
But a lot of people didn't take it as a compliment because of the history behind it.
I think a lot of people were not even Jews. Because us as Jews, we're going to take it as a compliment. I don't care what 21 Savage says. I really don't care. Even if he says, F the Jews or something like that, I don't care.
Isn't 21 Savage your favorite rapper?
No.
In the whole wide world?
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's
definitely not.
All the time.
He's definitely not.
But yeah. I don't know.
People really do have to, obviously, understand what they say and be careful about what they say. Mm-hmm. But, I think people are taking things too much to the heart nowadays. People are just offended by every single thing that anyone says. But, people are going to do whatever the hell they want.
How do you feel about Cardi B and Bruno Mars performing for it's supposedly not a Super Bowl event, but it's a Super Bowl event. It's just happening on Saturday night, and it's just not going to be the halftime show.
That's like the pre-party.
Yeah, but
the
Cardi B supposedly, allegedly, what happened? She basically denied doing the Super Bowl or rejected doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But she's doing that.
She's
She's getting paid.
Yeah, basically. So what do you think about that? Like, do you think
for her?
Well, no. Because she was supposed to be boycotting the NFL, and she was supposed to be doing it because of Colin Kaepernick. Yeah. But now she's performing anyways, but for a smaller event.
Good for her. I don't care.
No, how do you feel about it?
I feel like it's good for her that she's making money. She's a performer. She needs to perform as much as she could.
But she's supposed to be boycotting the NFL, the Super Bowl.
According to her?
Yeah, from her team, according to her team.
Yeah, she's not bringing attention to the Super Bowl. She's not going to be performing during the Super Bowl. Nobody's going to be watching.
No, but it's still a part of it. A part of it.
No, because nobody's.
She's supposed to be getting a check from Pepsi.
Okay.
But no.
Okay.
But Pepsi is also supporting the NFL and the Super Bowl.
No. That's just people. That's just people talking.
No.
Listen. The whole point is that she's not gonna bring. People are not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl halftime show because Cardi B is performing. Nobody's gonna be saying that, so she's not supporting the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is an event that's gonna start at 5:30. It's gonna have a halftime show.
But it's still supporting the Super Bowl.
It's still supporting the Super Bowl financially.
Yeah.
So should we not drink any Pepsi because Pepsi provides?
I don't drink Pepsi because it's nasty, but I don't know.
Should we not? Drink Pepsi? We're gonna watch the Super Bowl tomorrow.
I'm not saying that I'm Super Bowl. I'm not.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I'm still gonna want some justice. I'm still gonna want. No racism. No nothing.
Nah, I don't know. If she was
okay, let's not. How about we don't watch Super Bowl tomorrow?
I wouldn't care about it.
No,
you're gonna be the one that's taking the L.
No, I don't. I mean, I can go without not watching the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's just entertainment. I watch it because we get together, we eat good food.
Listen, tomorrow, this is what's gonna happen.
What?
This is what's gonna happen. Not tomorrow, but Sunday.
Yeah.
We're not gonna watch the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go out, and we're gonna get pulled over, and we're gonna be fucked.
Why you say that?
Because it didn't make a difference if I watch Super Bowl or not. we still we still gonna get pulled over or something. You know, it don't matter what the hell the Super Bowl does or not.
I mean, I get what you're saying to a certain extent, but still. If you're supposedly boycotting the NFL, the Super Bowl, then you need to do it 100%. Not lukewarm. You have to be either hot or cold. Can't be in the middle.
I agree with that. I agree we should not, be hot or cold. No, we should definitely be hot or cold. We shouldn't be warm. We should be right in the middle. I completely agree with that. But I'm looking forward to watching the Rams and the Patriots play. Even though the Chiefs didn't win, which was a big disappointment.
Yeah, it really was.
Because I did really want to see Kansas City against
the Rams.
California, yes. Yeah. I think that would have been a better game than
the Patriots. Constantly winning.
Because people didn't even want
the Patriots to win.
Yeah, they didn't want Tom Brady to win. They're tired of him. But
it ain't Tom Brady's fault that he's good. But
people always got something, Yeah.
But anyways, how do you feel about the controversy with YouTube?
About the conspiracy theories?
Yeah, Shane Dawson, man.
People just can't say what they
want anymore.
People can't say what they think anymore.
It's not freedom of speech any longer. Especially if they're about to completely disregard and flag all conspiracy videos. That's scandalous because those are really entertaining to watch.
They said they were going to flag it. I thought they said they were just going to not recommend them. Like, they're not going to recommend it.
I think it said flag.
No, I looked it up. As a matter of fact, I looked it up this morning.
And what did it say?
And it said they're just not going to recommend any videos. They're not going to, give any incentive for people to watch those.
Well, they don't do half the stuff YouTube is trash. Like, half the stuff... PewDiePie, he's never put on the trending list. Shane Dawson, he's not put on the trending list. There's a lot of YouTubers that are making YouTube what it is,
Oh, Shane isn't...
No, he's never on...
I remember him. He used to be very popular. Trending.
He's still popular, but he's not trending anymore. They don't put him on trending anymore. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot of people that have been trending that are not trending anymore because of different reasons.
Oh my gosh. So, the conspiracy theories with Shane Dawson was scary. I'm not even going to lie. It had me thinking. Here, let me see if you can hear white noise in this.
White noise?
Yeah. Like, you're supposed to be able to hear white noise while the phone is not even on. While you're not even on a phone call.
No.
Okay, I don't hear anything, but still. No.
I've never even heard of that. He's definitely, obviously, almost just doing it for the show because he's just finding. I mean, he's just basically finding every type and every single conspiracy he could think of.
No, it was actually very organized. It was iPhone conspiracies. It was the Woosley fire.
So you think Shane Dawson is actually doing it for awareness or for entertainment?
He's definitely doing it for entertainment, but he's also doing it for awareness too. Come on now, you think he's putting himself on blast just for fun? He's getting himself flagged. Demonetized.
Now that he's getting himself not flagged, but
you never know.
But do you think his videos are categorized as conspiracy theories?
Yes, videos? He literally has it titled as conspiracy theories. He has playlists of multiple conspiracy theories.
Well, it all started with Alex Jones being kicked out of every single platform, like Apple, iTunes, Spotify,
what did he
YouTube.
do again?
He's basically like, the king of conspiracies. So he's the one that, has like a whole website that's like, I think it's like live every, almost 24/7. He's like, that's all he does. Just talk about the government, fake news, and, all kinds of theories that basically are doubting whatever the mainstream media is saying about what's going on in the world. But that was a starting point of kind of all the media, or at least social media, having some sort of how would I call it? I guess filter on what they actually want you to hear and what they think you should hear and what they think you shouldn't hear.
So he must have been speaking the truth. The truth.
I think on some things, he might be right about, and on some things he might be wrong about. But just like everything else, I think everybody's right and wrong about some things. But he was a very energetic type of guy that would be kind of looked at as a radical person that may scare a certain type of people because of what he says. But I think, like we were saying, we shouldn't be warm, or we shouldn't just be not undecisive about what we believe. I mean, he obviously believes that there's some sort of manipulation about what the mainstream media wants you to understand and what the mainstream media wants you to, view. But then it comes down to, people should be able to have access to all sorts of things. If it's legal, which free speech is legal. Free thought, like thinking something, having an idea, having a theory, is legal as far as I know. I mean, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like they're supporting that anymore because of what YouTube is doing. But
well, I just believe that people should be able to express anything they want.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Especially if they're talking about abortion and killing babies. Then it should be, anybody should be able to have free speech, period. I don't care what anybody's saying.
And anybody should have access to whatever information that they want. Everybody should have access to information that might incriminate somebody. And, I don't know if the government has something to do with them shutting down all the conspiracies, because obviously, a lot of conspiracy theories are against the government and against the powerful people. I wouldn't doubt that the powerful people were like, well, we need to set an end to this, and we need to, make it seem like they're crazy and they're talking nonsense. I mean, I myself think a lot of things are kind of sketchy.
Well, I don't know. It's just too much, too far in depth to talk about, because that alone takes hours. But yeah, Shane Dawson's new video is more like a movie, and it's really interesting. Yeah, he was talking about 360 spy cam on your phone. It's crazy, and how they're coming for kids, and it's scary. It was really scary.
Well, he was saying that there's a 360 camera on your phone.
No, basically how you have the front camera, the back camera, and you have the microphone, and it always listens to you. And like, if you say, "Hey Siri," it'll automatically know like you're talking to her.
Right.
So she has to have been listening the whole time in order for her to hear "Hey Siri,"
Right.
Or the live camera, it records 3 seconds before and 3 seconds after. Before you gave it the permission to take the photo, it captures everything. And it's just like, why? That's not even necessary. But it's just scary. It's just really
I heard
up.
about a case where those Alexa products are very popular now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like this homicide case where they had an Alexa device inside their home, and I
heard about that.
Yeah, they basically were asking. Well, no, the police or the detectives were trying to get some type of access to the recording from Alexa of what was going on during that time where that person got killed. And so, people are saying, like, why was it even recording if it wasn't being in use?
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure if it was just like...
Nah, that stuff is definitely recording.
Yeah,
obviously.
But that is that does kind of make sense if you have a device that's just basically listening or waiting for you to say something, it's obviously listening all the time. It's obviously on all the time. Like, it's like, okay, I'm waiting for you to say something. But is it actually... I guess we would have to ask the coders in this case. Because, a program basically functions a certain way to where they're called if statements. They're called, if this happens, then do this. But
they're way past that. It doesn't. It doesn't even matter.
No, I think
they're way past that technology. They're on to something new. They're on to different codes. They're not listening to. They're not. They're listening to everything.
We would
everything
have to look up what type of code they're using for that device. I think
something that we know nothing about. That's what code they listening. They got us on.
But the real question is, are they recording? Is the question. They may be listening, but why is it being recorded?
Well, obviously it is. If they have a case on it and there's a man killing a woman and they found an Amazon device and they're getting information from it.
Because I'll be okay with them with not them, but just with the device listening to me all the time. I'm okay with that. But why are you like recording and documenting what I'm saying? Why? Like why are you documenting me saying, Alexa, order me a Pizza Hut, or order, something off the internet? Why are you recording that? There's no point. Why Amazon will even record that? That's the real question.
I don't know.
Even if they do say like, oh, well, we just record whenever you say Alexa. Why? Why is that even going on?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It's just too complicated. But another thing he was talking about, Shane Dawson, was the Woolsey fire. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, the fire that just happened in 2018 in California.
The one that wiped out...
that big wildfire.
Set records and all that.
Yeah, supposedly. But I don't understand how it set records when there was another fire. This is what he was talking about. There's another fire that happened in California a few years back, and it killed like 18,000 1,000 people or 1,800. I'm not sure. I don't know. It was like, yeah, could you look it up? But basically, that's one of the biggest fires that's happened in California. But they're saying the Woolsey fire was.
So, why are they covering that up? Why are they saying this one was the biggest fire
I don't know.
they've ever had?
I don't know. But that fire, the Woolsey fire, started at a radioactive laboratory that's been abandoned for years. So how the hell did it catch on fire? How the hell did a whole laboratory catch on fire?
I mean, because it was near the fire.
No, it started at the laboratory.
Oh, it started at the laboratory?
Yes. A radioactive area. So that means it spread.
Oh. So, wait.
Look up the laboratory that caught on fire. It's toxic.
So it started
At their laboratory.
Usually California fires start because somebody leaves something on, or somebody didn't put out a fire right, like a bonfire, or somebody actually causes it on purpose, or just because the dryness is too much and the sun is just hitting the plants in the right spot and just causes a fire.
I don't know. But all I know is that it started at a laboratory that's radioactive and it spread. Now, imagine the side effects that people are going to have because of a radioactive fire.
It is Woolsey fire, it says.
Like, that's ridiculous.
It says the wildfire in Malibu has hit a former nuclear research site, and some activists are worried about radiation in the smoky air. It says it hit it.
No, it started there. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I mean, according to this is Business Insider, which is a very reputable website. Credible sources.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the article says. This says the Woolsey fire outside LA has burned part of the former nuclear research site. I'm guessing that's what the laboratory is.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday, the California Department of Toxic Substances Control said that the fire had burned through part of the Santa Susana Field laboratory, but has since moved away from it. So, I mean, according to this, it didn't really start there.
It don't matter. It hit it.
I mean...
That's ridiculous. That's too much already.
I get
They're going to have to evacuate California here shortly. That's going to be abandoned area next.
Yeah, because of radio. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely dangerous, having a radioactive laboratory catch on fire and not knowing
what's in the air.
What was
in the smoke, like. But then again, like, it didn't make sense because only certain houses caught on fire. Like, there's houses across the street that were perfectly safe, and then there's houses that were next door that were perfectly safe to a house that completely burnt down to the ground next to them. It was creepy. Like, it didn't add up.
Well, I think the way it works is that the fire expands because of the flying particles that are burning. Like that, there's small little particles.
But wouldn't it burn down the whole house, like, and then the next house, and then the next house? You'd think it just bounces around.
Well, I mean, it depends because if it just depends on what the house is built with and all that.
It was literally only houses. Like, there was grass that was perfectly untouched, trees that were perfectly untouched. It was just houses.
That I could see that happening because some houses.
I mean, I know some people want to get their house insurance money, but that's just crazy.
I think that conspiracy theory may be not true because there's plenty of those houses are owned by people, and those houses aren't owned by government.
Okay, well, I'm just giving the details from Shane Dawson's video. But then again, it kind of doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Not to me. Like, houses. Like, every other house was catching on fire, you know?
Yeah.
Like, did they just come up with a plan like, hey, let's just burn down some... Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say that.
Well, yeah, like I said, it just doesn't... Fire doesn't really just spread everywhere all the time. Sometimes some things catch on fire. Some things are very flammable. Some things are not very flammable. Some houses may not.
But it's just literally whole properties that are still untouched. Whole properties that are not touched. Like, literally from where they own it to where it ends, it was untouched. And then the next, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to me. And then he went to a neighborhood that it literally showed some houses, like every other house was on fire.
Well, I think even if that was true, not even the government could control fire. Like,
but they said it was a direct laser or like a direct energy beam.
Yeah. No, I mean okay, let's say it was a beam hitting a house. Even that fire that's caused by the laser beam, they're not gonna control where it goes. They can't do that.
It looked like, you don't know that they have a lot of technology nowadays.
Yeah, but what's the conspiracy behind that? There's just a conspiracy of how the fire starts, but how do they contain that fire?
They don't. You see how it didn't get contained?
I mean, containment. It did contain because
he showed another video of somebody else, like, you know, those weather like viewers, you know, when you zoom out of the United States and it shows like the weathercasters and they're pointing at it.
Yeah.
And it shows certain energies or something like that. Basically, there was like a little piece of energy and it was like a real thin line, and then the fire started from that little thin line. And then it started moving. Like, it was, I don't know, but these are just conspiracies. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just never find out. Well, I guess that concludes our podcast for today. Our first podcast.
What? I had a lot more to talk about.
Well.
Wow. You just gonna cut it off?
We're just gonna cut it off like that.
You really gonna do that?
Yeah, this is it.
What the hell? You really just gonna cut it off like that?